Welcome to the farm, guys. This is the video you guys have been waiting for. Where have we been the last few months? We uploaded a video a couple weeks ago introducing the new additions to the farm, but this video we're going to let you guys know what happened and why some of our animals are gone on the homestead. It's a story that when you're done watching this video, you're going to sit back and think, could this happen to me as a homesteader? Yes, you know what? It can. And this is why we want to share our story with you guys here today. But first, I'm going to grab myself some breakfast. The joys of being on the homestead. Fresh fruit, first thing in the morning. Gotta love it.
I got some yummy scraps for the chickens for breakfast this morning. I can hear them inside. They're excited to come out. I'm going to throw this and then we'll say good morning to the girls.
And the boys.
Well, yeah, two boys, I guess. I always forget about them.
And who's the new addition in there?
Oh, my turkey. Don't mind the chickens. They're molting before winter, so they look terrible.
It's always a mad rush out the door every morning.
These are our babies we hatched. You can see, look how big they're getting.
Where's the turkey?
Come on, turkey.
He's always the last one out.
Come on, chicken. Come get some breakfast. Here, I'll throw some grain. Or chicken food. That'll get them. Come on, guys.
Good morning, Mr. Turkey. And that's the new addition to the homestead, guys. We got ourselves a turkey.
He's so big now.
Look how big he's getting. We've had him for a couple weeks now. And yes, he's going to be dinner one day.
We built this door this spring for the dogs to get in and out of the barn. They're still sleeping in their summer stalls because they like to be outside more than they like to be inside.
It's chaos first thing in the morning.
Good morning, Freddy dog. Good morning.
You guys are barkers. They said, play with me. I haven't seen you since last night.
Freddy loves to get hugs in the morning. Hi, Kona.
It's like a circus. It's like a circus first thing in the morning.
It is. It's chaos in the morning with the dogs. They're so excited. They like to spend 99% of their time outside, but we force them in the winter because it's just too cold for them outside. If you remember last year, we built them the doghouse using the IBC tote, but it wasn't big enough for all of this. So we had to make them their own room in the barn, and we did a door so they can come in and out because they prefer to be outside 99% of the time. And with a yard like this, I can't say as I blame them.
So now that all the animals are fed, let's head inside, let's make a coffee, let's sit down, and we're going to share our story with you guys. So all the animals are fed, we got ourselves a nice warm cup of coffee, and now we're going to talk about where we have been for almost 4 months. And this is going to be shocking to you guys, so make sure you stay right to the end because you're just going to go, I can't believe this actually happened.
Yeah, it's kind of shocking still to us too.
Yeah. So want to start the story off?
Well, this goes back quite a few months, all the way back to March, when Lily first had her surprise babies. She had her two little twin doelings that we had no idea were coming because we didn't think that Lily was pregnant. She didn't show any signs of it. We weren't expecting babies from her until we walked in the barn one day and there were babies.
If you guys haven't seen that video, I'll put a link at the end to the video of us being really surprised that Lily had babies.
It was a shock to everybody for sure, but they were super cute and we were super happy to have them for sure.
So this is where the story begins.
Yeah.
It started early April. We had posted in one of our groups that were part of the homesteading group that we had babies available for sale.
Yeah.
This guy had reached out to us.
And was interested in both of them together, which we were happy with because them going together meant that they would have a buddy.
That's right.
They wouldn't be lonely. You should never have one goat by itself.
So we let him know that it would be about 8 weeks till the babies were ready to go home. And he was perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, we don't take deposits on any of our animals or anything like that. We just said, hey, they have to be with mom until she weans them. It's going to be about 8 weeks is usually when they start to get weaned and will eat hay and stuff on their own. And he was happy with that. I send him updates as they were growing, pictures, things like that, just to keep them in the loop of how the girls were growing and how they were getting on.
So 8 weeks had come along and it was time for the babies to go home. So we reached out to the man and we said, babies are ready to go home. He said, great. We set up a date, we set up a time, and he sent out his wife. She showed up, she saw the animals. She loved the goats.
Oh yeah, they were snuggling. She brought one of her kids with her and they were snuggling with them and they were like, they're so cute, they're so friendly, and they were really happy with them.
So we did the transaction, we loaded the goats into her vehicle for her, and she went on her way. Mm-hmm. We thought that was the end of these people.
Yeah, yeah. We didn't expect to hear anything more from them. They, took their goats and they went on their way happy as can be.
2.5 months later, this is what happened. We had a post on our social media account. For some of you that follow Run Amok Farms Facebook, you may have seen this. It was only up for a few hours, but this is what they had said. The post reads, quote, all I can say is that true homesteaders are caring and love to help people out. That being said, the people at Run Amok Farms are definitely not true homesteaders. They are just trying to make a buck and take advantage of inexperienced people. They saw the opportunity to take advantage of someone and they did just that. Through false advertising, ignorant behavior, and a lack of compassion, these people will never be true homesteaders, but are certainly now considered true con artists by many, many people. Shame on you for lying and taking advantage of good, trusting people. $600 is a lot of money to some of us, and you stole that money by lying and deceiving. It's an absolute shame people like you exist in the farming/homesteading community. End of quote. So now you guys saw exactly what the post read, and yes, we were shocked as well.
To say the least. Considering we had no communication from these people for months, we had no idea that there was an issue or that they weren't happy.
No, and this person had 2.5 months. Like, if you guys have seen Mapleberry Farms, you guys will see that Kyle went to Mapleberry Farms originally.
Yeah, our big male goat. We were downsizing our herd. We had 2 males, we had all the girls, and we decided that we wanted to downsize. And we found a home for Kyle, and we had no idea that it was Mapleberry Farm until they pulled up in our driveway.
So what happened was they purchased Kyle, and they reached out to us the same day saying that they felt that Kyle wasn't a fit for their farm. And we said, okay, yeah, no problem. You can bring him back, because that's what you do as a responsible breeder, is you are responsible for that animal, not only during the sale, but a little bit after. If it's not a fit for the people, you should always bring the animal back.
Definitely.
48 hours later, they finally reached out to us and said, yeah, no, he's not a fit for us. We want to bring him back. And they did just that. We refunded the full cost of Kyle.
Absolutely. No questions asked.
No questions asked.
We were more than happy to take him back, because we'd rather him be in a good place and them be happy. It's hard because he's a big goat, right?
Yeah.
And he can be intimidating. So we'd rather him be in a good place where he's happy and where people aren't nervous and stuff around him.
So if you guys head over to Mapleberry Farms, you'll actually see the video of Kyle there. You'll see we were in their video briefly in the beginning. And you can see that, Kyle had a great home, but he just didn't fit in their lifestyle. I don't think they're quite animal people, and they decided that Kyle needed to come back.
And that's okay. You know what?
Yeah.
Goats aren't for everybody. It's an interesting animal to own. Definitely has its challenges, and we're more than happy to take back any animal that we sell at any time.
So with that being said, we were very shocked 2.5 months later to receive this post. So what we did is we reached out. After we pulled the post, we reached out to the people. We said, can we discuss the situation and find out what's going on?
Yeah, because they weren't really clear what the actual problem was or is. There was no communication beforehand, just this post on our social media page.
I mean, what they were upset about was the price. At the end of the day, they felt that as a homesteader, we should have given them a deal, basically sold them these goats for what, next to nothing, I guess? $25, $50? I don't know. And as a homesteader, you do look out for fellow homesteaders. It's kind of the code. And that's why with Mapleberry Farms, we took Kyle back, because it didn't fit their lifestyle.
Exactly.
And they were a fellow homesteader, and we said, yes, bring him back. And we found Kyle his forever home, and he's super happy now.
Kyle's in a great place now. He's the boss of his own herd, and he has free run of a huge barn and field and everything like that, and he's in the best place for him. And ultimately, at the end of the day, that's all we want for our animals, is to make sure they end up in a good place.
Right. So 3 weeks had gone by after the post, and we heard nothing from these people after we reached out to them. So we were a little upset about it. We decided to stop filming YouTube videos. We kind of took a step back. We didn't sell any more eggs on the farm, any more chickens, nothing. We were ready just to throw the towel in and say, we're done. Because this isn't something that we had signed up for.
Exactly. It was a little, I guess, hurtful, basically. Because
it was overwhelming at first because that's not something we expected to happen, because we do sell really good animals. They are well taken care of. They're clean. They're in a good environment. We make sure that they're all vet checked and everything. And for this to happen was kind of almost like a punch to the gut, it felt like.
It really was, because we try and make sure that we're transparent. Like, people come, when they pick up animals from us, they see where they live, they see what we feed them, how we feed them. I give them a full breakdown of, how to take care of them if they don't know, and even follow up. Like, we sold Panda and Lily, and I still talk to the person who took Panda and Lily today.
5 months later.
It's been 5 months, and she still sends me pictures and updates of how the girls are doing and how happy they are. And I love those updates, because we had those animals since they were babies, and to be able to see that they're in a great place, it makes us feel good.
And a lot of you guys have come to our farm and bought eggs from us.
And chicks.
And stuff like that. And you said, hi, Run Amok Farms. It's nice to meet you guys. And it's awesome that we're able to meet some of you viewers.
Definitely.
So, I mean, we share everything. We're very transparent with you guys. So the fact that the comments that they made, that false advertising, and we were...
It was really shocking.
It was very shocking, because we are very transparent people. I mean, if we weren't transparent, we wouldn't get on YouTube and show you guys our lifestyle on YouTube, right? So with that being said, we had decided we were already making our herd smaller, but it was kind of the decision for us going forward that we were going to no longer sell goats.
Yeah.
As you guys can see, that the dogs are now where the goats are. We've turned that into a place for the dogs to go, 2 10x10 stalls if it's raining or there's some snow, and they can get out of the elements and have a nice, dry, clean place to hang out. Because they don't always want to be in the house.
They don't. They definitely would rather be in the yard where they can run and play. And Kona likes to dig holes. That's her new thing. So the yard is full of holes.
So the other reason why goats are gone on our homestead is the cost. And this is something that we wanted to lay out for you guys. I did a bit of a breakdown, and we actually, after selling the goats, owning them for 2 years, we lost money.
Yeah.
So if you're planning on getting goats, you're going to look at goats as they're not very sustainable animals on the farm. They're going to cost you money. And just to give you guys a quick breakdown, here, go ahead, finish what you're going to say.
I was just going to say, it takes a couple of years before you even get any babies out of the goats, if that's what you're breeding them for. Yeah. And you don't get milk or anything without babies, so you have to breed them if you want to use them for dairy. And it takes almost 2 full years from the time you get that baby before you get any sort of return.
So just to give you guys an idea, I'm going to give you a quick rundown. I wrote down here. So in the 2 years, our feed bill was $1,495, just under $1,500. Supplies were pretty cheap, because we just bought some water buckets and stuff down at the feed store in the United States. Yeah, in the United States. So we saved some money there. Up in Canada here, they would have been probably 3 or 4 times the price. Yeah. So take that into consideration. Some of these prices are US prices. Also, the actual cost of the goats was a grand total of $1,310. That's for Nova, Lily, Panda, Kyle,
and Oreo.
Was the total price. Also, there was a gas fee to this, because we drove all the way to Nova Scotia, we drove all around New Brunswick, and that fee came to a total of $400. So the grand total, and this is without the stalls.
Yeah, because this is just for the animals.
We still use the stalls today. Yeah. So we didn't want to incorporate this fee, as a lot of you probably have a barn. So you're not going to really look at this fee, but I mean, you could add in another $500, $600, $700
if you need to build some sort of a shelter.
That's right,
something like that.
So the grand total was $3,250 for everything. Yeah. Now that could probably fluctuate a couple $100, but that's just a roundabout figure that we came up with. So after we sold all the goats, we received $2,350 selling every goat, including the babies.
Including the 4 babies, yeah.
Which left us with a loss of $900.
After 2 years.
After 2 years. We then looked going forward at what it would cost us for hay. Now, if we had kept some of the goats to rebreed again, that loss would have been higher.
Which we were originally going to do. We just downsized our herd first initially before we decided to actually sell all the goats. And the cost factor was a huge decision maker, basically, and why we decided to downsize the herd in the first place.
I mean, our loss would have been probably about $1,500 if we kept some of the goats.
Yeah.
So there would have been an additional of probably $700 in feed going forward again. And you can't bank on every goat having babies every year. It doesn't work like that. For us, the last year, it was two out of our three.
Yeah.
So if you bank, say, maybe 2/3 of your herd getting pregnant, we would have still been in a loss next year. And we probably would have been a loss the year after that and the year after that. It could have been at least 4, maybe 5
to
years.
7 years to
before
break even.
Yeah. So
and that's
forward,
if hay was easy to find. Like some years hay's hard. Last year was a horrible hay season here in New Brunswick. It was way too hot. Nobody had good hay. And it was really hard and expensive.
That's what caused our feed price to be double.
Be so high, yeah.
Double last year than the year before. So going forward, these are all the costs that you guys are going to look at if you're planning on having goats. People think goats are a sustainable animal when in fact they're not. So going forward, what are our plans here on the Run Amok farm?
Well, we have a few different ideas we've been tossing around. The kids really, really, really want bunnies. It's one more animal that we have to buy hay for, so it's something that we're
pondering over right now.
We're weighing the pros and cons of it.
I mean, bunnies are a lot smaller. They're going to use,
Sure.
I mean, one bale of hay will probably last you like 5 months.
Definitely, but there's still the care, right? You got to take care of them. And winters are cold. Bunnies are small, and they're a lot harder to keep warm, I think, than the goats would be. So
we're also maybe looking at getting ducks next year here on the farm, so we can have duck eggs.
That's going to be a definite. I've been waiting 3 years to get ducks, and
we were talking about getting pigs this year, and that still is a maybe on the farm. We haven't ruled that out yet.
We haven't.
But the reason why we didn't get pigs this year was the cost of wood and building a shelter. You guys saw the cost of wood this year.
Insane.
It was insane, and we built nothing this year to do with wood.
Yeah, I couldn't. We built the goat stalls, and the plywood that we used, we paid $11 a sheet for. This year, those same sheets were $60
a sheet.
And I just could not bring myself to pay $60 for something that a year ago we paid $12 for.
If you guys notice, the price of wood is starting to come down now. It has dropped quite a bit. And I believe over the next year, it will probably drop more. So I'm hoping by next spring, we'll be kind of back to almost a normal price for wood. And then we can go forward and start building some more outbuildings here on the farm. And those are some other things to look forward to, is us building more on our farm.
On the farm, for sure. And of course, you guys saw our turkey. We have him. He is eventually going to be dinner. Eventually.
He's not growing as fast as we thought he'd be. We thought he'd be ready for Christmas this year, and I don't think he's going to be.
He might be ready for Easter. Maybe
but Christmas next year.
I also don't know if I'm ready to kill him yet. He's pretty awesome. I like him.
He might actually end up being a permanent fixture here on the farm.
We might have to get him a girlfriend and hatch out some turkey babies. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
So we got a lot of changes coming here on the farm. We are going to stay in contact with you guys, and we're going to keep making videos.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot more stuff coming out. I know our Instagram's been pretty quiet. We took a step back from pretty much everything over the summertime while we just kind of regrouped and refocused, but we miss it. We miss sharing with you guys. We miss the interaction with everybody, and we can't wait to ramp up a bit and get started. And I'm already excited for chick hatching season come February.
The next video that's coming out, guys, I'm going to give you a bit of a spoiler here. I made a new water collection system this summer, and it was a complete fail. And we got a video coming out showing you guys where I went wrong, so you guys don't make the exact same mistakes that I made.
Exactly.
So thanks for hanging out with us today, guys, and finding out what actually happened here on the Run Amok farm.
And why we disappeared.
Why we disappeared for almost 4 months, but now we're back, and we look forward to sharing more videos with you guys in the future. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.